Hello, YouTubers. Reloading Bench back with you once again. It is a nasty weekend. Monday through Friday were absolutely gorgeous. It felt like summertime. And today it's cloudy, rainy, and like 49 degrees. So it's just not a good weekend for outdoor activities. So that means indoor activities. So I will start to get ready for some metal cleaning. Big old gallon of, as I can't remember the name of the YouTuber, he calls it acetone because somebody made an issue about it. It's not pronounced acetone, it's acetone. So he jokes about that every time I see one of his videos. But do some acetone in my sprayer, my Harbor Freight sprayer. Pressurize this and spray it as opposed to dumping it on cloth towels or whatever. But the point of this video is not for this. This just happens to be stuff in the background. The point of this video is to test and see how these particular, or this, it's the same thing twice, so we just need one, this diamond grinding wheel dresser works. So I'm going to pull out my grinder, my old Craftsman grinder that I put on the new stand being the stand I got recently with an old Craftsman grinder that's going to go into the parts bin just because it wasn't worth the cost. The value was in the stand, not the grinder per se. The stand and the wheels, the buffing wheels. But my grinder did come with a wheel dresser that I tried to use. Maybe I'm using it wrong. Didn't really do anything, so I thought I'd give these a try. So let me bust out the grinder and move the camera. Back momentarily. All right, so here is my 6-inch grinder, and just as comparison, the 3rd horsepower 1/2-inch arbor, when you look at the size of this grinder, let me get the one I picked up last week. So, much smaller. Maybe it's hard to tell. Much, much smaller. You know, in every way. 1/2-inch arbor. This one says 2.1 amp, 3600 RPM. This says 3rd horsepower, same size arbor. I don't know what the horsepower translates into amp. Maybe I'll look that up, see if there's a converter. But this weighs next to nothing. This is heavy as all get out. And it's on the stand that I'll probably leave kind of raw. I'm not unhappy with the stand in its naked format. Love the fact that the wheels worked out great. It's very mobile. This is the worst area of the garage in terms of flat. But again, I'm just grinding, so not a big deal. Let me get a piece of metal, and maybe a close-up so you can see that there's a little bit of a rut right in the center where the left and the right sides are a little bit higher. And I will see if that is apparent before I start anything. This is the wheel dresser that came with it. And, you know, I tried to use it, you know, just, I don't know if I'm using it wrong. I can't find any directions on how to use this. It looks just like what's on sale at Amazon, you know, with a handle. So you just put these, you know, against the grinder. It didn't do shit. So this is now for looks. So thus the Powertec, which is probably a knockoff because it's from Amazon and here's where it's made. So you know, we'll give it a try and see if that works. But actually, let me use this as the straight edge. Okay, it feels, you know, super cheesy cheap. Not expecting it not to be. Yeah, it's a little hard to see. Let me find another piece of metal. All right, so it might not be completely obvious to you, but, you know, not quite flat there. And again, to me, there's a little ridge right here that is apparent. Maybe it's more apparent when it's running. So you can see that line right there. Get some glovey gloves. Let's see what this does. Well, that middle center line just disappeared. I love this old school light, this thing right here, which has a little, looks like an old car turn signal lamp. I wonder if there's an LED replacement for that. Alright, so this was the edge. Maybe it was this one. All I know is there was some paint missing. And this eventually stops. Let me see if I can get it to stop on this side. Okay, dokie. Well, it looks good. I'll have to go back and look at the video. Yeah, that looks really good. Okay, that. All right, I'm gonna say we're good. That looks great. I don't see anything in between there, and wear and tear on the diamond. I mean, you can tell. I'll move the camera back, but yeah, there's definitely wear on here. I wasn't paying attention to see if the wear was up top or below, but yeah, you can definitely feel the difference in the two areas. All right, let me move the camera back so you can see a little better. All right, so it's, to me, it's very obvious where the wear was. I don't know how if the camera's picking up because of the lights or the reflection, but this area is definitely duller. It's almost like you could draw a line halfway across here and see the difference. I don't know, again, if the camera's picking it up or not, but the wheel looks beautiful. That, again, I'm a happy camper with that. In fact, I'm going to do the other side right now as well. In fact, what I should have done was stop this. The other side has a number of metal flakes from whatever. So I'm going to flip it so that the damage is on the top. Okay, yeah, so the damage is now even. Let's see how that wheel looks. So I don't know how many uses you're supposed to get out of these, but for the cost of these, I think it was $6, so the 2-pack for 12 bucks. And there's, you know, again, I don't know if this is really a true Powertec or a knockoff, but I will say that wheel looked great. Let's see what this one looks like. There's probably somebody cringing out there in YouTube land as I do that. Looks like whoever owned this previously did a lot more on the rough side than on the not rough side. Maybe I should take the grinder, not this grinder, but my DeWalt grinder to those, and or not. I don't know if it's a big enough deal. Actually, so I can see there still looks to be flake. Flaky flake. So there still looks to be some, like right there, some flaky flake. But I don't know if that's the stone or, you know, metal that's just embedded in there. But it looks a lot better. So I'm going to grind some metal, because I heard that once you do this, whatever roughness, so I can feel right now this feels a lot less coarse. It's definitely, this side's still more coarse than this side. But let me do a little metal grinding. Back in a sec. So here's a piece of scrap steel, surplus steel. Here, we'll work on this edge and see what we can do. Let's make some sparky sparks. Well, it's definitely hitting it. It's not a straight cut. I don't remember what I cut this on. Actually, it really doesn't matter. It's doing a fine job. I don't know that I need to grind all that down. So from a worky point of view, I'm satisfied. Get rid of my glasses. So again, extremely happy with this setup, this grinder on this stand, and you can't see it, but off to my left here is my buffer on the stand that this grinder was on. Drained the compressor the other night. No shortage of water and rust. That will be the death of this tank. Slow, slow, slow. And my mounting was a little janky, but it works. Just because the dude who used this 1/4, 3/8 inch plate, the screws don't go through the plate because of, you know, again, how he chose to do what he did. And I figured I wouldn't put any more holes in the main plate, so I adapted. All right, so I'm gonna say, here's a clean edge. That is good. I didn't have really a groove on this one as much as I had what I would call fragments, but It's definitely rougher than this side. So now we have the wheels dressed, and maybe now that I've dressed them, I can clean them with this one. I don't know. I think this is just for looks. I really don't see the value in that. I spent as much time with those as I did with this, and this did an immediate, had an immediate effect, whereas this thing did nothing, essentially. So, again, if it's fake or not, who cares? It worked, and that is today's gloomy, rainy video. Later.